Okay. Hey everyone. I hope we're on to the Facebook Live. This is day 2 of the challenge, and this is using a limited palette, 3 colors, and I might even just add a color favorite of mine, which is, if it will come out, it won't come out, then we will skip it. We'll add a different color favorite of mine. Using a limited palette, the darkest color, which for me is always Prussian blue, a medium tone, which is magenta, I love, and then the lightest tone you have, and for me that's a yellow, and this is Naples yellow, and white. So those are the basic 4 colors. Let's see what we can do. And if we end up using a little bit of violet, well, that'll be an interesting thing. But what I have here is parchment paper in the lid from a takeout container, and it's all wet underneath so that it keeps it all moist. This becomes a moist palette. You know, you could just add a little bit more. You want to have a little bit of a paper towel underneath. You want it to be wet, and it will keep your paints wet while you work. Okay, let's get that out of here. Now, okay, so depth of field. Limited palette, we got that. Depth of field means creating the illusion of distance. You know, when we do art, we create the illusion of things. It's always about the illusion. And so this is using that in that way. Now, take any one of your colors. I'm going to take a little bit of this Prussian and get a lot of white. Clean off my brush. Get a lot of white. We want to start with something real pale. And really, you don't have to make anything the color it really is. You can make it any color you like, okay? So I'm going to start with just kind of, can you see I have this taped off, an area taped off here? So I'm going to put in kind of a background. And again, you know, I've seen skies be everything. So if you made a pink sky or a pale yellow sky, it would all work. I like to leave a little bit of the paper showing. This is my Arteza art pad, which takes every kind of media. And I like the corners a little bit deeper, but not that much. And just kind of blend it all in. Now, we want to use these same colors throughout the whole thing. I have a wet baby wipe. I can dab some of it off, blend it a bit. We want to use the same colors. So to this pale blue, I would just mix in a bit more of the Prussian, but still keep it light, you know? That's the key. You want it to just be a little bit deeper than what we have down there already. And then I'm going to carry this through kind of like something off in the distance. You know, out in the Southwest, there's a lot of these plateaus and things like that. Give it a little spritz water. So things far away from us tend to have a bit of a pale color to them. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that, a little bit of my favorite little lavender to it. Give it a little different tone happening. And then have that coming in. So things far away have this look of paleness because it's affected by the atmosphere. Things far away are paler because of the air, the atmosphere, the humidity in the air. And let's get this. Let's try to get this real straight in here. Picked up a little yellow there. That's okay. Kind of going down. And then where these two come together, I'm going to make it even a little bit deeper. That helps create the illusion. Overlapping things create the illusion. And I'm going to take a little bit of the water here, and keeping the edges a little fuzzy also helps create the illusion. So, you know, so the edges are not real sharp. A little bit fuzziness going on there. So we're starting to get our middle ground in. Now, as it gets closer, these colors, we can mix these colors so that we can create, I'm going to take that same blue, add a little bit of the yellow. When you mix your colors, you create a harmony of colors. And in a painting, they really work beautifully together. So I'm going to just kind of start to put some things in. And kind of wet the tip of a brush and just kind of start to blend things down. Make a different stroke. Make it look like something else. There's so many things happening out and about in mountains. There's all kinds of, you know, tree lines and things happening. And let your brush make different strokes. That adds interest to whatever you're making. Okay, now I'm going to really I want to get a real blue-green kind of a thing going. Add a little more blue to that. And maybe even a little bit of the magenta. Gets deeper, you know, when you use the primaries together like that, it gets deeper. And let's see what we can do now. Hold the brush in a little different way. Because we're getting closer. As things get closer, they start to do things. And we want to kind of show that up. So we keep some of the very darkest things towards the bottom. We keep things with details. Let's get my favorite little brushes. You know, brushes are wonderful. What brushes you use? I saw somebody put on my site, oh, the brushes. Yes, the brushes make such a difference. I collect brushes because you never know what you're going to need for different things. And I can get a little bit of that. Now we start to put in some of the colors and bring it in closer. And get different strokes happening. Oh, and I had nothing in mind. I didn't know what I exactly wanted to make here. But can mix some of that red magenta with some of that yellow to get another kind of a tone going here. Add a bit of water, lighten it up a bit, blend things. And you do this with, you know, any media. You're using pencils? Fine. Stick to a limited palette or oil pastels or anything like that. Stick to a limited palette and see all that it can do. You don't know until you actually try it, you know, kind of a thing. And let's get some of that. Lilac or whatever that is. Just for interest. And always use colors you love, you know. What colors draw you to it? See what you come up with. A little bit of white. Use your brush in different ways. A little bit of white. We want details at the bottom. So we want deeper things, we want details, we want things showing and happening. We want things to be dark, medium, and light. We want to carry that through, that kind of a feeling through. So add even a little bit more dark to make this stand out. The idea here is a lot of light, some medium, and a little dark. If you do that, you know, make every area interesting. And let's just bring a little bit of something in here happening. And a little different. And maybe, let's see here. There's all kinds of things to make it look like it's a whole different, like, ridge or something, you know. Coming in. There are like groves of aspen. There's all kinds of stuff happening. And even with a little bit of this, it's just a little color. I think, kind of thinking, let's get that yellow off. Let's get a real pale, whitish, something like, maybe there's water or something happening in through here. You know, your mind, it fills in what things are. Your mind is always making pictures of things. So things can have other things happening and your mind will fill it in. What it is. And that pretty much does it. So we have depth of field. The very lightest, the very lightest. We have middle tones coming in, and then we have some very dark coming closer to us. We've created a distance, the illusion of distance. And we've only used a basic little palette here. Try this. Pick your darkest color, a medium color, and the lightest color, white. Add one color you love and see what you come up with. So here we have kind of a depth of field kind of a thing. And I like it. Okay. So that's our challenge for today. Let's see what you come up with. And you can share it at Come Home to Art on my Instagram or on this Facebook page, Art of Pat Gillette Designs, or private message it to me. You know, we can keep it private. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.